I'm Brian Winnekins at World Dairy Expo, and our expo broadcast being brought to you in part by Dairyland Equipment Services of Plainview, Minnesota and Woodville, Wisconsin, Badgerland Financial Services, BASF, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Wisconsin Farmers Union, and the Dairy Business Milk Marketing Cooperative. I am with Barb Glenn. She is with the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture. And Barb, tell us briefly about your organization.
Well, NASDA represents agriculture. We represent the commissioners, secretaries, and directors of agriculture in all 50 states and including the 4 territories of the United States. So our mission is to grow and enhance agriculture through strong partnerships, and we develop consensus on sound ag policy, which is very important between your state and between the federal government.
One big policy that we have states suing the government, and that's the EPA's Waters of the U.S. rule.
Yes, exactly. That is a top priority for NASDA, as you can imagine. The commissioners voted unanimously in February to ask EPA to remove the rule, and recently we have been supporting Congress in efforts to roll back that rule. Waters of the U.S. creates a lot of uncertainty, an uneven playing field. There's no information on education and outreach to growers and livestock producers on how to implement this rule. So at this point in time, we fully believe that Congress should roll back this rule, and we're working for that legislative fix.
Talking with Barb Glenn. She is with the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture. Another big issue going on, TransPacific Partnership. And specifically for dairy, there's kind of a disconnect between the U.S. and Canada, isn't there?
Yes, absolutely. Now, the NASDA supports agricultural trade, as you can imagine, and fully for dairy access. And right now, the negotiations are hung up on a couple things, but certainly dairy access. So we need to see balanced access around the countries for trade in dairy products. That's what we support. We're monitoring the TPP talks, which are going to be held in Atlanta, Georgia here shortly. So we're following this very closely.
Again, talking with Barb Glenn with the National Association of Departments of Agriculture. Obviously, some of the other issues, one that's related to Europe and really hits Wisconsin, is this European thing of you can't have Parmesan cheese anymore because there's a place in Europe that is named Parmesan, so you can't do that. What's your group trying to do with that?
Well, these geographical indicators have been a challenge in the trade talks, but we feel like there needs to be open markets for these products across the globe, and so, we're supportive of enhancing the access of these kinds of products and keeping those names and brands open for U.S. Agricultural companies and for the dairy industry. So we're looking forward to making sure that gets fixed, but it is a very difficult conversation right now.
Finally, before we let you go, what's it like representing potentially 50 states, really California? Each county has an ag commissioner. Everybody's got a little bit of different priority. What's that like trying to keep all of these commissioners and ag secretaries all in line? It's kind of like herding cats.
Well, it is, but let me tell you this. We're a nonpartisan organization, and as you know, in agriculture, we get along, and there is a super opportunity with NASDA to continue to have consensus and have a united voice and strongly represent agriculture in all 50 states together. And that's the way we're going to have impact and influence in Washington, D.C. So we do it, and we're going to continue to do it.
Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Barb Glenn, she is with NASDA from World Dairy Expo. I'm Brian Winnekins.